semifinal game of the RGV Venom tournament. I'm Alex Espinosa with DeMarcus as my camera operator on my top left side. And we have our matchup of the Edinburg North Cougars playing against the Edcouch-Elsa Lady Yellow Jackets. And to start it off, Yellow Jackets will serve. Cougars recover on the defense and they'll attack down the middle. And the Yellow Jackets tagging to the left on a good spike. And we apologize for the technical difficulties right there, ladies and gentlemen. It appears that volleyball might have hit one of our NAT mics. But thankfully, though, we are still here to play. And as the first points will go in favor of Edinburg North. And the Yellow Jackets with the defense. Attack inside, and that'll be in favor of the Cougars again, to make it a 2-0 lead. I'd like to thank everybody watching us here on Real Sports Live. We are live here on YouTube, Facebook, and even Roku. If you're interested, we are streaming through Roku Live. We'll be doing 90% of the high school games here in the RGV, including Roma, Texas. And the Cougars attacking offense, going far back the attacking line, and the error against the Yellow Jackets will go to point number 3 for the Cougars to make it a 3-0 lead. If you are the Yellow Jackets, last season the Yellow Jackets had a 30-11 record with a 13-1 league play. Terrific play for the Yellow Jackets. And if you're them right now, you're expecting a lot of good things from them. Edinburg North, however, they had a pretty interesting season as well in the 2018 season, where they came off an 18-14 record with some good games and an 8-3 record in their district play. And right now, looks like they're playing a lot better against the Yellow Jackets. They did not play each other at all in the 2018 season. And right now it looks like the Cougars were going to be dominating at first, but now the Yellow Jackets get their first points of the game, and now they'll be up to serve down on the top right side of your screen. Left-hand attack, and a good service ace for the Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets take a 3-2 lead. If you're just joining us, we had an interesting game of the Harlingen Cardinals playing against the Edinburg Bobcats, where Harlingen swept the Bobcats in 2 sets apiece. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. It is best two out of 3. If there is a third set, it's up to 15. The first 2 sets are of 25. However, the leader in that game, an amazing dump off. The leg, however, goes over the line, under the line, and that'll be a point for the Cougars. And so now the Edinburg North sets it up. They serve. And the Yellow Jackets setting it up. They punch it left. Does it stay in bounds? They say yes. Just barely gets in bounds, and it's a 1-point deficit for the Yellow Jackets. We'll see what they can do and make it an instigate a comeback as they get the ball back. Yellow Jackets serve, barely gets over the net. Thankfully, didn't touch it. It would have been a close one, but this one does touch the net against Edinburg North, and we're tied at 4 apiece. Serving, right hand, out of bounds. And North gets the ball back. We'd like to thank everybody here for watching us, and we appreciate the RGV Vipers for allowing us to use their practice facility. Oh, and an unbelievable hit hits the net. Would have been really good had she attacked just a couple of inches above the line. And a light floating pass. Miscommunication against the Yellow Jackets results in another points for the Cougars, and they're up 7-4. And they take it back to a 3-point deficit. Left-hand serve. Setting it up down the middle. Good hit, but the Cougars dig. Dump off inside, and a dump off retaliation for the Yellow Jackets results in points. Yellow Jackets not giving up. They're giving all they can, and it looks like it's showing as it's only a 2-point deficit. Can they get themselves back into a tie ball game? While this is very early, ladies and gentlemen, the deciding factor will be who can score the most points and who can get the lead. As evidence from the last game where the Cardinals had a big lead and Edinburg almost had a big lead. Yellow Jackets score again on just barely getting it past the line. And a couple of dribbles, 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. Right hand inside down the middle. Cougars setting it up left. Good hit. The libero is able to dig it out. Can the Yellow Jackets respond? They will, and just barely. Running effort, getting the ball, taking it out into Yellow Jacket country. And attack right hand. Is it in line? They say out of bounds. They call it in. After a couple of discussions, they decide that it's in favor of the Yellow Jackets, and we're tied up at 7 apiece. Attack, serve from the right. Good dig, setting it up left side, goes over the wall. And on the right, tip off, ball gets blocked but stays in the Edinburg territory. But this time the ball goes out of bounds and Edinburg keeps their lead. And the Cougars up to serve again. Serve from behind, set up from behind. The ball goes in the line barely. Unbelievable play for the Yellow Jackets. And they're back at tied on some very good close angled shots. This is unbelievable. This is actually terrific. Let's see if they can keep this up. And a setup down to the far left. A good hit going into the stands, and it will stay in the stands. And North keeps their lead. And they come back to serve. Both teams in their white and black uniforms. Ooh, and a left-hand hit going across, but the Cougars recover. Unfortunately, ball out of bounds. And substitutions coming in for the Yellow Jackets as the libero will serve. Taking a couple of steps, more than 5 steps to get it out, and too much power, out of bounds. And it's just going one side after the other in terms of points. Edinburg North with the lead, but the Yellow Jackets are doing their best to get themselves back into tying it. And the dump off left, a good one going over the wall, but the Cougars recover it just in time. And a good dig from the attacking line, and they'll attack from the right side. Can the Cougars recover? And it looks like they might as the attack goes over the wall. And they're setting it up from behind the attacking line. Ball hitting the net. And the North get their 2-point lead. And they get to keep the ball. Now serve from the middle. On the right hand. And their setter from behind. A little surprise as it caught off the Edinburg North off guard. Attack. It hits the net and goes into Yellow Jackets territory, but it's still alive. And the attack is good for the Cougars. Blocked by the hands of Edinburg, and they'll take it out just barely. Yellow Jackets setting it up from behind. Can the Cougars recover? It looks like they will just barely, and they're going to push it out. Ball still in play, ladies and gentlemen. No one has scored yet. Good attack. Tipped it into the ground. Yellow Jackets, unbelievable play by their team, and they're down by only 1 in this game. And the serve, light serve, just above the attacking line, just barely. And a good attack down the corner is good. And the North showing that they can attack as well from the corner and find the open spaces. The Yellow Jackets had a couple of points by finding an opening down the corners, and now Edinburg North is responding with that exact same play as the ball goes into the air, almost hits the lights. It could have hit the lights if it was a couple of inches to the left. Good spike over the net, but it stays and it goes out of bounds. Yellow Jackets get their point, but they're still down by 1. Left-hand serve. And on the left side, attack out. Trying to repeat the same thing that the Cougars did before, but unfortunately for them, that was not in their favor, going far out. And now we're back at 12 apiece, ladies and gentlemen. It's a slow game, but I tell you what, it is getting fairly interesting with what's going on. Remember that a lot is in stake here, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the quarterfinals of the silver bracket in the tournament. The winner here will play against Robert Vella's Sabercats. I know Edinburg North would definitely love to go play against their hometown, their city rivals. But Edcouch has come in with some surprising attacks, and I just don't see them out of this game just yet. And setting it up right side, ball tipped and into the Cougars' territory. They get it into the stands and it hits the wall. The Yellow Jackets get their points. And that makes the score 14-12. And the setup from behind, good hit, the libero with the dig. Setting it up for their libero again, pushing it all the way out, but the Cougars recover. And the setup from inside, good hit. Tip off. And that dump off is saved by the Yellow Jackets as they're up by 2. Setting it up from behind, can they get it? And it looks like they will. Yes, they do. And it's 15-12 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. And how about this? Now they're back in the lead. This is their biggest lead in this first set. And the service error will go out of bounds. The North keep the ball back. The North get the ball back, and it'll be 13-15 Edcouch. And the serve, right hand, going just a little bit to the right and setting it up for the middle. Hits the net and going left side. Attack on the left, going down the line, and the refs call it inbounds. And now the North looking to make their own comeback as they're down by only 1. Just a couple of serves ago, they were down by 3, and then before that, they were leading it by at max 2. Oh, and the left-hand attack is good. Yellow Jackets get to increase their lead by 2, and they get the ball back. And with the chance to serve, let's see if their offense can find a way to keep the Yellow Jacket defense in bay. Ball going over the line and almost hits the official. That'll be in favor of the Yellow Jackets, and a timeout is called by Edinburg North, and we'll take a quick break on our end. You're watching Rio Sports Live. We'll be right back.
Fulfill your retirement needs. Come experience the difference with us.
And let's plan your retirement together.
Call us at 956-440-8774 to schedule your appointment today.
Needing a treat before or after the big game? Then, when in Harlingen, stop in at the Scoop Ice Cream Parlor and Deli and treat yourself to some amazing things. Ice creams, shakes, sundaes, banana splits, and that's just a sample. If you can dream it, they can make it at the Scoop in Harlingen. From the deli comes a variety of sandwiches that is sure to bring you back for more. Hamburgers and hot dogs served every day. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 7, Sundays from 12 to 6. On F Street in Harlingen, it's the Scoop Ice Cream Parlor and Deli.
we are back, ladies and gentlemen, on Real Sports Live for the RGV Venom tournament. I'm Alex Espinosa with DeMarcus as my camera operator, as the Edcouch-Elsa Yellow Jackets are only up by 2 after a service error results in points for Edinburg North. And it looks like they're going to try and retaliate with a hard hit, but it's digged by the Yellow Jackets, and the Yellow Jackets will attack down the line at the top, and it goes in to make it a 3-point lead for Edcouch-Elsa. And a good play, as the entire defense was just close, was way too close to the attacking line, leaving the backfield wide open for an attack. And the setup down the middle on a good hit floater. Libero picks it up, and a setup left again, and the ball hits it too hard on the right hand of the Cougar player. And Yellow Jackets are making a demanding lead of 19-15. This is their highest lead in this match. And attacking right. Cougars will push it out. Everybody going down for the ball, and nobody leaves the backfield covered. And now Yellow Jackets take it out. And attack, good dig, hits the libero just exactly, and the ball blocked into the net. Edinburg North make it a 3-point lead, a 3-point deficit. It's 19-16 Edcouch. And they will set it up from behind. Good trickery, but no, nobody was fooled. And the setup this time to the left, and that one might be good, yes or no. I say yes now. It looked like it was going to be a no at first as the ball hits the net and someone was going to elbow it, but unfortunately no one was there to recover it. That makes it a point for the Yellow Jackets. And the Cougars will set up a good floater. Libero with the right thumb picks it up. The right hand picks it up. Good spike, and they call it in favor of the Yellow Jackets as the ball was tipped off by the Lady Cougars. Now the Cougars are up 21-16. And a right hand hit. And the setup inside, and a good hit. Hits the net, and the Yellow Jackets keep their lead. And now the lead just gets a little bigger as the net violation results in another point for Edcouch, as they are just 2 points away from taking this first set. And right hand serve. Cougars saying take a push off. And the Yellow Jackets will set up from behind. It's a good dig. They got one more shot to get it out, and they do just that. Nobody's in the front line, and the ball gets inbounds. The North get another point, and they're only down by 5. And a setup down the middle. Good slow tip off. Edcouch from behind. Good serve. Hits barely the net. Is it touched by a player? Yes, it is. And the Yellow Jackets make it 24-17, and we are at game point. And the good serve high in the air. They got one more shot. Cougars get it out just barely. And the tip off. Oh, leg in the net. That makes it 24-18 for Edcouch, but the Cougars get the ball back. And the attack, setting it up. Punch out hits the net. Another point for the North to make it a 24-19. And a setup from the right. It's a good tip off. Libero with a sliding dig, and they set up for their best attacker from the right. It was a good cross, but digged out by the Lady Cougars, and the ball going inbounds. Is it? They say out. So that is point 20 for the Lady Cougars, and that'll make it 24-20 as they take a quick timeout. We'll be back after a short break. You're watching Rio Sports Live.
Hola, les habla su amigo Benjamín Gómez, el alcalde de San Benito, invitando a toda la gente que venga a visitarnos aquí a San Benito. Crucen por el puente Los Indios, más bien conocido como el puente de Lucio Blanco. Visítenos a las atracciones que tenemos aquí en San Benito. Aquí los esperamos. Muchas gracias. Su amigo Benjamín Gómez.
We are this close.
We're this close.
We are this close of uncertainty.
To making history. This close to changing the world.
We're this close.
This close. This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
Ever again.
This close.
We are this close to ending polio.
Ending polio. All we need is you.
This close.
If we don't act now, we may lose this chance forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for Rio Sports Live. I'm Alex Espinosa, live from the RGV Vipers practice facility as we are waiting just for the officials to start the game. They're checking out the scoreboard. On our scoreboard, we had 24-20, which we know is right. And on the scoreboard here in the gym, it was 23-20. And right now, they're just investigating it. And they do confirm the score is good. It is 24-20, and we are back in play with the Yellow Jackets having game point. However, Edinburg North has the ball, and they're up to serve. And the setup from the right, a good hitting into the net. And now the Cougars keep the ball back to make it only down by 3. And the North taking it. Yellow Jackets setting up for an attack on the right side. They go cross. Attack not blocked. Libero picks it up, and they'll set up again from the right side. Attack this time is blocked, but inside territory, and that is game point, ladies and gentlemen. That was game point, and the Yellow Jackets take set number 1, 25-21, and we'll have one more set to see who we'll see, and we'll have our second set to see if we're gonna go to another and we'll see if Edinburg North has a chance to recover, or if the Yellow Jackets will take the game. We'll take a quick break on our end. You're watching the RGV Venom tournament on Rio Sports Live.
A Piece of Cake by Ibarras in Harlingen is a sweet stop for cakes, cookies, and pastries. The best in town for specialty cakes made to order. Sweetbread, cookies, pies, or how about cupcakes? At A Piece of Cake by Ibarras, try a Texas-style cinnamon roll, or how about some tamales? Wedding cakes, graduations, you dream it and they can make it. The best in town is A Piece of Cake by Ibarras in Harlingen.
The Harlingen CISD elementary experience looks something like this. Let's see that again. To learn more about the HCISD elementary experience, visit hcisd.org.
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for set number 2 of the RGV Venom tournament. I'm Alex Espinosa, doing play-by-play for this game, and on with me is my camera operator, DeMarcus, as Edcouch-Elsa was able to win set number 1, 25-21. They were down in the very beginning of the set, but they were able to slowly make a comeback and regain their lead and keep their lead intact. As the Cougars will serve on the right side, and the left side we have Elsa set up down the middle, but attack is blocked but stays in Cougars territory. And the first points will go to Edcouch to make it 1-0. And the attack, setting it up left. Ball, does it go inbounds? They say out. Just barely goes out, and that'll be another point for the Yellow Jackets as they take the 2-0 lead. And miscommunication again will result in another point, and an error is point number 3 for Yellow Jackets to make it 3-0. And actually, just like the last game, the last set, folks, it was Edinburg North that had the lead, and now it looks like the Yellow Jackets are taking the lead. Maybe it's a side thing. Yellow Jackets setting up down the middle. Good hit. Easily recoverable by the Cougars, and the hit going hard and out of bounds. The North get another point, and they make it 4-0. With a quick timeout being called by the Edinburg North Cougars, we'll take a little quick break on our end. I'm Alex Espinosa. You're watching the RGV Venom tournament on Rio Sports Live.
Fishing fans, here's your chance to catch some fish and help out athletes at the same time. Mark the calendar now and plan on attending October 20th as the 3-up, 3-down San Perlita Booster Club Fishing Tournament looks to be the biggest and best yet. Located at Laguna Madre Baits in Port Mansfield, Texas, this tournament is set to provide 100% of the proceeds directly to the athletic programs. Artificial lures only with a blackjack format, no fish over 21 inches, $150 per team or boat, maximum 4 people, and the grand champion is a team closest to 63 inches with 1 red trout and 1 flounder. Food raffles, baked goods, a silent auction, and terrific prizes from some great sponsors. Registration is October 19th. The tournament is October 20th. See you there at the 3-up, 3-down fishing tournament in Port Mansfield, where catching fish is helping athletes in a big, big way.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, on Rio Sports Live as the Edinburg North Cougars get their first point on a service error. I'm Alex Espinosa. Billy Watson is back as my camera operator after taking a quick break. It's good to have you back, Billy. And Yellow Jackets setting up for an attack on the left. A good tip-off, just barely, and the Cougars are able to get it out. Close one there. And the attack from the middle hits the chest of the middle blocker, but it's good. And the ball inbounds. A little miscommunication by the referee. She blew the whistle, but nobody was fooled as the ball was still in play and there were no errors. The official is apologizing for that. But the Yellow Jackets do get to keep the points. And the attack right side and into the middle. Attack. It looks like it goes to the sideline. No, just barely. Barely goes inside. So the Yellow Jackets take a commanding 6-1 lead in the second set of this game. And left-hand attack, it goes out of bounds. And the North get the ball back and a chance to maybe take the lead, maybe score some points. As miscommunication, they had no choice but to get the ball to their libero, but the libero with an unbelievable hit. And that was a good hit, and now she'll be taking a little quick break. Maybe the next time she'll come back, she'll probably do another good hit like that. As the Yellow Jackets are serving, right hand. And the Cougars setting it up left. Cougars with the ball again. Just barely gets it over the net. Inside the attacking line is good. Edinburg North only down by 4. And the left-hand attack just goes into the middle blocker with the dig. Setting it up, the ball digged but stays in bounds and hits the stands, nobody there. So Yellow Jackets get the ball back. And some unbelievable play by the Yellow Jackets in terms of offense, but most of the points have been coming off of errors. And the Cougars take it out. Ball still in play. Attack blocked by the net. Wrestler made a little mistake there. They were going to give the point to the Yellow Jackets, but it actually goes to the Cougars. And we're back to only a 4-point lead for the Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets libero will push it ball far out. This time, though, the Cougars were there to pick it up. This time setting it up from behind, blocked, and inside the Cougars line. A good block, the finger, but it just broke through the wall. And the serve, picked by the middle blocker. And the libero taking it out. Cougars setting it up for the far left, and the attack is digged by the libero. On the far left, a good hit. Ball still in the air. They have 2 more shots. Now they have 1 more to get it out, and they do just barely. Setting it up from behind. Ball tipped over and into the out-of-bounds line. Yellow Jackets on their 6-point lead, and they get to keep the ball to serve. And the setup on the tip-off behind the attacking line, but the Yellow Jackets get the ball to improvise and take out. Setting it up from behind, ball is blocked. Can they recover? The libero keeps it alive for 1 more shot, and they do just barely. It goes into Edinburg North territory. Ball high in the air and out of bounds. Unbelievable play. Great recovery by the Yellow Jackets to get the ball back into the Edinburg North territory and allow them to get a point. And the good hit, does it go in? Yeah. No, they do not. The officials almost tricked me there. They pointed inside of Edcouch, but then they switched their sides and went to the north. And the service error will give the ball back to Edinburg. And the ball goes over the left outside hitter, and nobody in the vicinity. So the Cougars get another point with the ball back, only being down by 5. Right-handed serve, libero recovers, setting it up. Good attack is blocked, but it is digged out by that same blocker. Ball into the air, back into Yellow Jackets territory. They're going to have to get it out. They do just that, and the ball out inbounds. That's 12-6 Yellow Jackets, and they get back into their lead. Let's see if the momentum is back on their side. As a good hit into the attacking line, set up from behind. And from behind into the inside the attacking line is the Yellow Jackets getting into Edinburg territory. Push off by the Cougars gets it back to Yellow Jackets. And now the Yellow Jackets respond with attack of their own. And the Cougars push off. Is it out of bounds? No, it's not. It's inbounds. To give the Cougars the ball back and get them back into within 5. And the ball set up. 1 more hit. And the ball going out of bounds or inbounds. They say out. So the North keep the ball back, and a couple of miscommunication resulting in points for the Cougars. And they get the ball back, only being down by 4. And a good serve. Inside the attacking line is the ball. They take it out. And the good push off. Cougars recover. And the Cougars' attacking error in themselves results in points for the Yellow Jackets. And it's 13-8 with substitutions coming in. And they'll be up to serve is the Yellow Jackets. The ball digged out, almost going into the stands, but they recover. And the setup from the far left, a good floater down the middle, but it is rebounded by the Yellow Jackets. Ball taken out back into Yellow Jackets territory down the middle where no one was there, but they got it out. Setting it up. Ball not blocked, touched by the Cougars, and the ball is played by the North, making it a point for the Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets only need 11 to win this game, and they're up by 6. Ball high in the air. Oh, and a good tip-off. The ball deflected, but back into the stands of the Cougars, and that results in points for the Yellow Jackets. So now it's 15-8, and the second timeout called by Edinburg North, as the team is going to try and recover with Edcouch up by 7, and only needing 10 to win the game. We'll take a quick break on our end. You're watching the RGV Venom tournament on Rio Sports Live. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, on Rio Sports Live for the RGV Venom tournament. This is the second quarterfinal game. I'm Alex Espinosa with Billy Watson as my camera operator. Ball hitting the net against Edinburg North results in point number 16 for the Yellow Jackets. And Yellow Jackets get to keep the ball. And they'll be serving again. Into the middle. And they'll set up behind middle. Ball in or out? They call it out. Point in favor of the Yellow Jackets. And now they're up by 9. As the Yellow Jackets setting up, dribbling the ball, get that perfect feel for it. Set up from behind. Ball tipped. Back into Cougars territory, but taken into Yellow Jackets and back into Cougars again. Oh, what an unbelievable dig. Good hit. And a miscommunication results in a point for the Yellow Jackets. So now it went from a 7-point deficit to a 10-point deficit after the timeout. Yellow Jackets on a hot streak right now. Ball going high in the air. And a good hit! Almost hits the face of one of the middle blockers. Almost hits one of the middle blockers in the face, but it goes over her and goes into the ground in Edinburg North territory. And Yellow Jackets with a good serve, getting the Cougars out of position. Good attack over the wall. Ball is digged, but hits an official while the Cougars played it, making it another point for the Yellow Jackets to make it a 20-8 lead. A 20-8 game. And the attack right hand. Good positive dig. And the Cougars take it out. Libero to inside the attacking line, setting it up for the right side. Ball still high in the air. It's going to go into the net. No, it won't. And I meant the basketball nets. Yellow Jackets 21-8. Only 4 points away from taking the match. And we'd like to remind everybody that at 7 p.m. we'll have McAllen Memorial play against the Harlingen Cardinals for the semifinals of the silver bracket. That'll be at 7 p.m. And the winner of this game will play against the Edinburg Vela Sabercats, and that'll be at 8 p.m. And the setup from behind, ball tipped, blocked into the air. They call it underhand. Yellow Jackets are 22-8. And that was a good hit. The ball hit the palm of the hitter's hands, then the net, and then the hitter again. And a setup from behind, good hit. Libero picks it up, and she's going to hit it herself. The middle blocker picks it up, setting it up for the outside hitter, back into Libero's territory, back into the Yellow Jackets territory. Ball crosses midpoint, setting it up. Still in the air, still in play. And Cougars setting it up far left. Ball blocked and out of bounds, but it's played by the Yellow Jackets. Edinburg North not going down without a fight. It's 22-9, and that's their first points in a while. And the setup, good floater into the Libero's territory of the Yellow Jackets. Ball tipped by the Cougars and into their own side. Yellow Jackets are now only 2 points away from taking this game and advancing into the semifinals to play against the SaberCats. And the North setting up left. Ball blocked, but recovered and deflected. Yellow Jackets get the ball back. And a good spike down the backside. And now we are at game point for the Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets with a commanding lead, looking to close out this game and advance into the next round of the silver bracket tournament. Ooh, a little miscommunication by the Yellow Jackets. They still have one more shot to get the ball out, and they do just that. Can the Cougars recover? They have one more hit. Actually, no, that was 4 hits, and the Yellow Jackets win to advance into the next round. Unbelievable play by the Yellow Jackets as they dominated the second set. It was an impressive game to watch, and now I just can't wait to see them play against the SaberCats later on tonight at 8 p.m. At 7 p.m., ladies and gentlemen, don't forget we have McAllen Memorial playing against the Harlingen Cardinals in the first round of the semifinals. From all of us here at Rio Sports Live, Billy Watson, Alex Espinosa, signing off.